Hey guys! Today I'm doing a story time, which I have been planning on doing for the longest time. Before this happened, I wanted to do a story time, but I felt like none of my stories were long enough. I mean, I told stories to my friends all the time, but they were just like, hey, I fell in the middle of HMV. This story is about the worst boat ride of my life. Before I tell you the story, there's kind of a backstory to it. My school every year does a high school trip where we go basically anywhere. One year we went to Washington. This year we went to Newfoundland and then a little island called, another thing that I'm going to tell you, it's going to make sense later. We get like a bunch of senior citizens. We get them to come on the trip with us. And so we find out the trip is from Newfoundland, and then from Newfoundland, it's not from Newfoundland, we're from New Brunswick, and then we go to Newfoundland, and then we go to this little island called St. Pierre, owned by France, which is exciting. However, to get to Newfoundland, we need to take a boat overnight. Then to get to St. Pierre, we need to take a boat again. And so that's 4 boat trips. And I get extremely seasick. Before we go, I go to Walmart and get anything for motion sickness, like Gravol. I got these little pressure point bracelets. I get these patches behind my ear. So I'm completely drugged. By the way, do not do that. Just get a Gravol and hope for the best. This boat ride actually went pretty well. Onto this little boat. It wasn't really little, it was like a normal sized boat. The one before was huge, but this one was a normal size. So you walk in and there's like places for your bags, and then you walk further in and it's kind of set up like a movie theater where there's like rows of chairs, but then instead of a TV it's like a canteen kind of thing, but they only had like 4 chips in there. And I see that there's a seat belt, which is completely bizarre for boats. I sit down and I'm next to my friend Mackenzie.
You have to die.
And to the left of him is my friend Carissa, who is in my Whisper Challenge video and most likely to Christmas edition.
Ow!
Of course. So we sit down and we're in the front row. We see these super creepy guys. There's 3 guys. One looked about 60 with this mustache. And the second one is a 40-ish year old man, and then the third one was late 20s. They worked for them, for the boat, obviously, but I don't really know what they did. They just kind of stood there. And one of the girls from my class got up and asked to go to the bathroom, and she asked them.
And then they just here, and then she asked us, honey, do you know where the bathroom is? Obviously not, but where's the bathroom? And then it's over there, and then she walks down this hallway.
Then I didn't really see what was happening, but later on, my friend turned to me and he was like, they were just blatantly staring at her butt as she walked by, and that made me uncomfortable, but not as badly as it would. Hold on. Other people are coming in, and there's another room past this canteen thing. There are people going in there, and so when those people go, every girl that walks by, and then they like look over the door and watch as they walk by. And these are like my principal, my vice principal, and then some of the senior citizens that have gone. We happened next? Oh, we're sitting there, very uncomfortable. We don't know what to do. By this time, the boat starts moving, and at that moment, I figured out what the seatbelts were for. So, here, let me just paint you a picture. Have you ever been on the Tower of Terror ride at Disneyland? So, if you haven't, the ride goes up like several stories high so you can see all of Disneyland, and the doors open up and then they close and then you shoot down. And because of that, your butt lifts off the seat like this much. That's what the boat was doing. It was intense. It wasn't. That made me extremely nervous because I have a history of being sick when it's not like that. So I'm holding on for dear life to these handles, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, it was horrible. And I start up this conversation with Mackenzie beside me, and while we're talking, this creepy 60-year-old man just stares his laser eyes at my chest. I get a little bold and I made eye contact with him. Didn't blink. He was so creepy. One of my teachers started to feel sick right in the center, so it was easier, like it was harder to get sick in the center. So they bring him over there, hand him a barf bag, and he's just sitting there white as my shirt. Like, I never understood when people were like, oh, you look pale, are you sick? Or like, this person turned white as a sheet when they were sick. Until that moment. Like, I was terrified that he was gonna get sick, because if he was sick, then I probably would have got sick. To my left, there's my teacher. He looks like he's about to throw up. And then beside me, there is a, like, 10-year-old child throwing up. He was, like, way over there, but I could hear him throwing up. And I'm just... I'm trying not to focus on them. I'm trying to focus on not getting sick and not flying up to the roof of this boat. Well, there is a 60-year-old man staring at my chest. Longest hour of my life. We finally get off this boat. And let me tell you, it was worth it. Like, St. Pierre is beautiful. I just thought, oh, it'll just be like a French Canadian island that happens to be owned by France. Felt like actual France, like what I would picture if I went to France. And just, it had that European vibe. I went to our little hotel, and it was like a building, and then behind the building, like that was where you checked in, and then behind the building there was another building that was like your room, and you had like your own door to the outside, which, and like you had your own little porch, and it was just a very nice hotel, except the beds full. And we went out and we explored, and I had a croissant, and it was great until I started feeling sick. Basically what I think happened was my body got used to not being sick on a boat, that once I was on land, it was like, whoa, what the heck is going on here? So basically I just slept most of the time until the next day when they kicked me out of the room. One of the teachers was like, hey, we're all planning on going to a cafe. And I was like, this is my last, like, I might never go to France, so I should seize the moment. So I went with them. And keep in mind, I had been sick, so I kept on my giant hoodie from the first day, and I had my hair in a bun, and it had been raining. So not only because I slept in the bun, it was so gross, but the rain made it frizzy and super curly. I was probably super pale because I was sick, and I had no makeup on. So, but I didn't really think about what I looked like until we got to this little cafe. And it's like crowded, and I make eye contact with a very attractive barista, I think, and then I remember what I looked like. So that was the story of my worst boat ride ever. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. With my Pinterest, Instagram, any social media that I have is down in the description if you want to follow me. Okay. Someone's screaming.
Only for